Well, good morning, everybody. This is Joanna with My Appalachian Life, and this is our midweek video. And instead of recommending some things that I love this week, I thought I would just do a review of a new makeup line that I'm trying. So today will be the first time that I want to try this, but they had a good promotional sale on their starter kit. And so it has arrived, and I've unboxed it and taken a look at it. And I started to go ahead and try it. And I thought, I'll just try it with you guys and give you my honest first opinion about this makeup line. I know you've seen it all over social media. So I guess I was just at a weak point and decided to try it. But for years, when I worked in a corporate job for 34 years, I always used Meryl Norman makeup or Clinique, and that was just my go-to. So after I've retired, and oh my goodness, I've been retired 18 years. Time flies by. But I've been trying some other makeup products instead of Meryl Norman or Clinique. So I ordered the Laura Geller startup kit, and it came with this kabuki brush in this little retractable container, and it's got a little angled brush on it here. So I'll be applying that makeup with that. The foundation is in this little container, and it is called Baked Balance and Brighten Foundation, and it's the light shade, and it's just a hard, compact powder there. It kind of reminds me, remember years ago when Bare Minerals first came out and it was a big thing? Kind of reminds me of that, but this seems to be a harder packed product than the Bare Minerals. And then it came with this blush, and it's called Baked Blush Brighten, and the color is Pink Buttercream. And there is that. And then it came with this little container of a, I think it's like a brightener, or if you want glow on your face. I've got to find my glasses so I can read on this little container. I keep glasses near me everywhere in the house. Okay, this is Baked Highlighter Illuminator, and the color is French Vanilla. See if I can get that open without dropping it. And there's what that looks like. So, this morning, I'm getting ready before my day kicks off and before any contractor gets here to do any work. So I've already washed my face and I've put moisturizer on. So I thought I'd just show you my moisturizer. And I'm almost out of that one, but I've got a new box. So this is called Retinol Day Cream. And it's made with... Oops, sorry. Okay, it says boosting anti-aging day cream with retinol and Dead Sea minerals. And I get this, believe it or not, at Big Lots. They usually have it in stock. They did always have it before they went out of business. And now that they have reopened, there's a reminder that just came up to me on my calendar. Sorry. But now that they have reopened, I think they still carry it. But this is it from Big Lots, and you can see that I only paid $3.50 for this container of moisturizer. And I really like it. It feels real good when I put it on my face. It just makes my face feel refreshed. So I've already done that. So my next step is some primer. And I have always used, the last few years, a product that I found that I really like. I'm going to try something different today. there it is. I was going to show you what I normally use. And it's by L'Oreal, and it's called Infallible Glow Lock. I'll get it right in a minute. It's early, guys. But there's what I normally use as my makeup primer. But today, I'm going to just use something different. And I started using this based on a recommendation from a lady on Facebook. And she said she used Mary Kay products for years. And their primer, but she found this product at Walmart, and it had the same exact main ingredient in it that the Mary Kay primer did. So she tried it instead of the primer, and she said it feels just like the Mary Kay primer. And you won't believe what it is. But I tried it, and I really like it. So what it is chafing gel by Equate. And the main ingredient in it that she says was in the Mary Kay primer is dimethicone, dimethicone. And I'm telling you, it works. And you remember the old commercial for men on the hair product that they used to use? I can't remember the name of it, but it said, just a little dab will do you. A little dab will do you on this. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the tip of my finger right here. And I just dab it on my cheeks and chin and forehead. And then I just start rubbing it around. And I have to show you my boo-boo. This feels so soft and silky on your face, and it helps the makeup just really go on very evenly. Oh, that just feels so good. Got the primer on. Here's my boo-boo. Curling iron mishap. Look at that. When I get my hair shorter and I'm using my curling iron, sometimes it just slips because it's a shorter length and it slips out. And it did, and hit the side of my face. Hate that. Now the next step is some brightener under my eyes, some concealer, and I'm going to try to doctor that up a little bit. And if there's any other imperfections, and what I use for the imperfections is this Avon concealer stick called Match. And I can't tell you what shade that is. But I'm going to try to just dot some over that place that's trying to scab from the burn. So the makeup will probably, I doubt that it will cover it all up, but kind of hide it a little bit. Let me look at my magnifying mirror here. In a couple little places. Looks like I've scratched myself or something. Okay. Now for the concealer. And the product that I like using for the concealer is made by e.l.f. and it's called Correction. I'm sorry, I don't like keeping these big glasses on. It's called Camo Concealer, 16-hour Camo Concealer by e.l.f. So it has a little sponge tip on the end of it. And I just put a little bit under each eye. Not much, because you look like a raccoon if you put much on there. And then I just start dabbing it under my eye and on my eyelid. I use it as an eye primer for my eyeshadow. And then And I just kind of brush it out a little bit, come down the side of my nose. Okay, let's do this side. And I get the corner of my eyes good too, because that's where I normally pick up some dark colors, right in the corner of my eyes. Okay, got that on. And what's left on my finger, I just run down the bridge of my nose. And you see I've got some pigmentation showing up on my face. In the horse world, if they got a little swirly mark right between their eyes, that's a sign of intelligence. I've got a little pigmentation place in the center of my eye, but I doubt that it stands for intelligence. So anyway, what's left of my finger, I just do on the bridge of my nose, down on my chin, and across that area. Okay, now we're ready for the foundation. So let's get this Laura Keller foundation opened up in the Kabuki brush. And I'm just going to try to rub some on the brush here. It's pretty hard. I don't see much coming up yet on the brush. Let's see. And I don't know if I am putting this on right or not. If any of you use this Laura Keller makeup, let me know if I'm doing it right or not. I can't tell. I can't tell if there's anything. I guess there's some showing up on my face. Let me do this other side. You go over it again. All right. I guess I can tell that it is kind of even my skin tone out some this morning. I'm just not used to this type of powdery makeup. Okay, can y'all tell? Let me look at my magnifying mirror. Needs more on my nose. It's not covering my burn. I didn't expect it to, because that's a pretty bad place right there. But this does not give a full coverage by any means. Just a very light finish on your face. I still have some stuff in the corner of my eyes where I got up. I did wash my face, but there was still some stuff in the corner of my eyes. Okay, well, we got that on. Let's move on. So now, the next thing I normally do is my eyebrows. So let me get my eyebrow pencil out here. And what I use is by e.l.f. It's a retractable, and the color is neutral brown. I'm going to use my magnifying mirror to do this. And I start at the corner, go straight up at the corner of my eye here for my starting point. My ending point will be from the end of my nose up to the angle of my eye and stop right there. My eyebrows naturally are so white that if I didn't do my brows, you wouldn't know I had any. All right. I think that's good for this morning. Now I take the other end that has the little brush on it and just kind of smooth some of that out. Smooth your hairs out. And it kind of blends in that stick, that crayon color. And if you have any that you need to, that's kind of got outside the line, take a Q-tip. Mine seems to be okay this morning. But I take a Q-tip and get off the places that I didn't want to get any color on. So I have to curl my eyelashes. I meant to do this earlier. Let me do this. Okay. All right. So the next thing I do is my shadow. Now, you all may have a certain order in the way you put your makeup on. This is just the way I like doing it. And that way, if any eyeshadow falls down on my face, I can remove it before I put the blush on. So for my shadow, I just used drugstore products. I'm using Maybelline for the base, this creamy white color. And I just put it in the corner of my eyes over to about halfway. And then I bring it up across the top, right under my eyebrow. I've got deep set eyes, and it's hard for me to put any kind of color on it that will stay. So today I'm going to use, for my depth of my color here, whatever you call it. I am not a makeup artist by any means. You all can tell that. But I've got this Revlon palette, and I'm going to use the darkest color today down here. And I just use this about halfway from my eyelid out. That on the other side. I don't like a really deep, dark color. I like my eyes to look more natural. So once I do that, I take a little feathering brush and just kind of blend it. And then, if there's any residual, I thought I put that sponge out, but I didn't. I take a little sponge and kind of tap on the sides to remove any residual shadow that fell. And now for the eyeliner, and I use this gel eyeliner, and it's by Maybelline, and it's called Smoky. And I think it's Tattoo Studio is what it's called. Tattoo Studio, yeah, Smoky. So it comes with this retractable tip, and on the other side you have a blending sponge. So let me get my eyeliner on. I'm going to have to use my magnifying mirror. I'm sorry. I go right against the base of my eyelash. And can you see where it went right up against the base of my lash? I'm going to use this sponge tip to kind of blend it in a little bit where it's not so bold looking. And once I do that, I take the brush that I put that light colored eyeshadow on. It still has some on the tip. I'll just tap on it to kind of set it. Now let me do the bottom of my eye. I'm removing some that fell to the bottom of my eyelid before I put this line across. Okay. Now I just put a little line just to about the middle of my pupil here. Really faint line because I don't like it real bold on the bottom. You hardly put any pressure on the pencil at all. Now I will take the sponge tip and just smudge that in a little bit. But this magnifying mirror picks up a lot of stuff that you don't see in a regular mirror. Okay, I think I got more on the left than I did on the right, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more. And blend that in. Putting makeup on in front of you guys is a lot slower. And I'm really intimidated by doing it because I am no makeup artist or expert or anything. So I'm going to take this same brush and just tap there to set that under my eyes. And there we have that. Now we're ready for the blush. So let's try the Laura Keller Pink Buttercream. And I don't want to use that same retractable brush that I use the foundation. So I've got a brush that I normally use for foundation. Let me just wipe it. Any excess that might be on it from my last application. Wipe that off. All right, let's go in with the Laura Keller. Ooh, now that came out more so than what the foundation did. Let me tap it a little bit. Okay, let's try this. I'm just going to tap a little bit on. Get the cheeks, the apple of your cheeks. Tap a little bit. Okay. What do you think? I think the color is fine. Okay. Now, with that, I always like to use a little bit of bronzer. They didn't give a bronzer, but I use NYX Buttermelt Bronzer. And I have a little angled brush that I use for that. And I just put a little bit around the bottom part of the blush. Not much. Then I just put a little bit down each side of my nose, across my hairline, and around my jaws. Feather it down to your neck. And that's it. So what I normally do when I use my other foundation at this point is I have a big feathery brush with just neutral face powder. and I just dab it lightly along to set this. But since this is already powder, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to skip that step. And then the next thing I have is my mascara. I wanted to show you what I normally have been using for my foundation. And it's this, I've tried different things, but I keep going back to this one. And it's by, I don't know if you call it IT or IT. It's a CC cream. And it's SPF 50 plus. And color correcting full coverage cream, anti-aging hydrating serum is what it says. And the color is light on this one as well. But I really do like this, and it gives good coverage. And I usually use a sponge. It has a little pump thing here that you pump it out just a tiny bit on a sponge, and it just slides all over your face, especially if you use this primer, the chafing gel. But I use this when I go to church or out to dinner or meeting friends or something, but just for my everyday, I use something cheaper. So that's why I'm using the Laura Keller today. Not that it's cheaper. I just wanted to try to see what all the hype was on social media about it. But maybe they have different foundations, but this one in the starter kit certainly is not a full coverage. It's just a light makeup. It's very light on my face. Don't feel like I have anything on. So let's go ahead and do my eyelashes. And normally on my eyelashes, I use a primer. When I'm going to church or somewhere, I use the L'Oreal Voluminous Primer. And this came in a package, a set, and this is the L'Oreal Paradise, Lash Paradise. And but today it's just a errand day, and once the contractors get here, I'll see if I need to go get anything or what's going to go on today. But I do have a couple of errands I need to go out and do. So I'm using my Maybelline Great Lash. So let me get this on. So there that is. Now the bottom eye, as you get older, they recommend you not putting mascara on your bottom eyelashes because it draws your look down. And at this age, you want to look more lifted. So I've read not to put mascara on the bottom eyes. So I'm going to leave that off this morning. I just had the eyeliner, can y'all tell? So let me get a closer up here. So what do y'all think about the makeup? How does it look on my face? Okay, the price was probably about the same as what maybe a little more than what I pay for this product here. So I think just from the looks of it on my face right now, I would rather stick with this, the IT brand CC cream. And I think it gives a better coverage, and that's just my opinion. So I need some lipstick on to complete my look today, and I always like to start with my Burt's Bees lip balm. Feels good on the lips. Oh, and what color do I want today? You know what? I think I'm just going to put on the Revlon. Was this Revlon? The Shine Rum Raisin 08. And with these glasses, I cannot see. Yeah, it's Revlon. It says it right here on the tip. Revlon. And it's rum raisin. It's just a glossy look. I'm not even going to put it out lip liner on this morning. I'll be drinking my coffee here in a few minutes, and that's going to come off when I drink from my coffee cup anyway. So that feels good. So that's our makeup review this morning, Laura Keller. And I think I paid about $45 for this starter kit. And it came with the Kabuki brush, the foundation, and the blush. Oh, and I forgot the glow. I forgot the glow. So do I want to put some of this on? What kind of brush can I use for that? I'll just use my powdery brush here on the tip. Put a little glow underneath. Did that brighten that side up? Let's try this side. And brightened it up some. Okay. I think wherever you want to have a little shine or a little more glow, maybe I'll put it on with my fingers. Right across through there, below my eye. Okay. Done. But yeah, I stay with my original assessment. I like the IT foundation better just for this first try. We'll see how this wears throughout the day. And but I don't think it looks bad. It's just not my favorite. So there you have it. So if you all use Laura Keller, let me know what you think about it. Maybe I'm applying it wrong or using the wrong foundation. Maybe there's more of a full coverage foundation that they have that would work better. I don't know. But anyway, I'm glad you all tuned in with me on this spontaneous video this morning on putting up my makeup. And you all have a great day. Be blessed and keep walking in the light. Love all of you.